Sword Art Online Roblox anime game. Now, when I say this, most of you guys are probably wondering, why have we never gotten a good Sword Art Online game on the Roblox platform? It should be easy to make, right? And I'm just as confused as you, so honestly I don't have an answer to that. Now, when I say this, most people probably bring up Swordburst 2, but in my opinion, that game, I wouldn't even call it a Roblox anime game. It kind of felt like a front page simulator game that just gave off a Sword Art Online feel. In my personal opinion, I genuinely didn't enjoy that game and the contents of the game. When I think of a Roblox Sword Art Online game, I think of something like the early Sword Art Online adventure game made by the Rell brothers way back when. That was a really old game, but for its time, I enjoyed it, and it didn't actually feel too bad for a game of the time. Now, we can't even compare that game to what games are now, so I'm not even going to talk about it too much. When I think of a Sword Art Online game, I think of a good base combat system with a decent amount of weapons and sword skills for each weapon, and progressing through multiple layers, multiple floors, and each floor has a different feel to it, different environments, different layouts, different themes, and things of that nature. And I honestly feel like a game like that would have content for years to come, and I don't really see us getting bored of it. It could be super unique, and when people start to run out of canon ideas, you can make non-canon weapons, bosses, floors, etc. So again, why have we not had any? Well, I can think of 3 games that are in development that actually may satisfy our needs when it comes to Sword Art Online games. So let's talk about all 3 of them. Before we get into this, you guys do me a huge favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's do this. Now, the first game in our list is the game I am the most disappointed in, and it is World Seed. Now, if you know, on a lot of the top 10 lists that I used to make, that I will be making, and that people like Sly Kage have made in the past, World Seed used to be in our top 10 list. Because out of all the Sword Art Online games we've ever seen on the platform, this game looked like it had the best quality. Fluid movement, from what we saw, the combat system was looking well. And I know I'm probably not allowed to show you guys, so I'm not going to, but in the tester sneaks, they were showing off some really promising stuff. But if you were to go inside the Discord server, you would see that there are no sneaks in there anymore. And even within the tester sneaks, they don't even post anymore. Now, I've heard rumors saying that the devs for this game have gone on to work on other games, that this game is barely even being worked on, if not being worked on at all. And that's probably one of the most disappointing news of this year that I've received alone. World Seed could have been probably the best Sword Art Online game the Roblox platform has ever seen, if the dev team stuck to it. Now, again, it's too early to say that just based off the little amount of sneaks that we've had, but the M1 system looked fluid, and with an M1 system like that, I can imagine the base combat would have been actually good, but I guess we'll never know. It was really too early in the game's life cycle to tell, and at this point, I'm pretty sure the game's been dropped. Now, if any devs for the World Seed dev team see this, and if you guys could reach out to me, I'd love to know if you guys even care about this game anymore, if you guys are working on it. This game is more of a myth than anime legends, and that's honestly telling quite a big story there. And it's super disappointing because every time there's a good game in development, there's always something bad going on with it, or there's always bad news along with it, or there's always some nonsense going on. So honestly, it's quite annoying. Roblox is never gonna get a good game. But yeah, World Seed, the most disappointing game on this list, and let's move on to the next one. Now, the next game I have to talk about is called Business Online. Now, in my opinion, this one has a load of potential, but potential can always be wasted. Business Online is fairly new. It just gained access to testing a couple of weeks ago. Now, during the first online playtest session, the game was super laggy. Wasn't really optimized for play, and I'm pretty sure the developers did not test that before they let testers in the game. I couldn't even record, that's how laggy it was. Now, they fixed that shortly afterwards, open testing again, and the game was in a playable state, but that put me off, so I didn't actually go back in to record. Out of all the games on the list, I will say if they polish this one, it could be really up there. Now, a few problems with this game. The movement is very stiff. The movement has like literally very little to no fluidity, and I really don't like the movement systems within the game. When you're running, when you're moving side to side, even when you're doing your dashes, the game feels really stiff. And I'm going to show you an example of that on the screen. As well as that, I feel like the maps are really overtuned. Yes, you do want your game to look good, look pretty. However, do not make the map look really good if it hinders the game's performance. The map doesn't need to be a 2025 AAA game standards. This is Roblox. You can still scale down how good the map looks, and it can still look good at the same time without being overbearing on everybody's hardware. I low-key feel like it is a little bit compact as well. We need a little bit more space. And finally, the combat. Now, the combat isn't terrible. The M1 system looks nice. It looks clean. However, and I can only speak for what I've seen during testing. However, the M1 slashes are a bit overtuned, overbearing. If I'm level 1, there's no reason why my sword needs to have a million light trails following after my M1 slash. Very, very over the top. As well as that, the hit stun, the combat in general, I'm not too sure about it. It doesn't really satisfy me. It just feels like I'm hitting something. There's no real responsiveness to what I'm doing. The blocking system is kind of mid, so once you're in a combo, you just have to accept the attack. I want to be able to counter my opponent in order to fight back. I want to be able to fight back. If I'm in a losing situation, I want to be in a position where if I lock in, I can come back and completely turn the tides of battle. I feel like a game like this could use a parry system. It is a Sword Art Online game. I feel like parrying in a sword game is kind of like needed. It's a SAO game, it's a sword game. Swords are going to be the main form of combat. I feel like a good parry system would suffice. Instead of just having the normal 5-hit stun combo and you're only able to block and perfect block, I feel like this isn't the game for that. If they polish up the movement and the combat, this could be a really huge game. The game isn't bad by any means, and from what I've seen, the sword skill looks actually quite cool. Again, the game's in early testing, and I do want to see where this goes. I'm not gonna lie, this is giving me one of those vibes that they did start testing, but a year from now, we're still not gonna hear too much on the game. It's really hard to say because Roblox developers aren't the most consistent, but I'd love to see this game hit public release with all the issues polished up, combat optimization fixed, and movement fixed. This could be good. This could be really good. And last but not least, I saved this game for last on purpose, Blade Art Online. Now, this game could actually be really good. It has all the right flags, the right green flags that most people would be looking for in a game, a Roblox anime game in general. The developer team is working super hard. They're working super hard and they are consistent with the sneaks, announcements, just letting the community know, hey, we're here, we're working on the game, we're serious about the game. And you can actively see that they've been working on the different floors. The latest sneak shows floor 6. Like maybe it's just like a video of the scenery, but it's still there, it's being shown. I did play this game a couple of months ago. It's been a while. I think it's been 2, 3, or even maybe 4 months since I hopped in this game, and a lot has probably changed. But I will talk to you about my experience when I hopped in. I don't have footage anymore, and I'll give you guys my opinion on that. Now, from when I hopped in, my main problem was the game's combat and the combat system in general. So when you hop in the game, you'll notice that in order to sprint, it's like a double tap W. And when you double tap W, it does like a push. It pushes you forward. It's like a dash, a forward dash. And then it gives a sprint, like a fast travel sprint type of animation. So you're not running. There's not like a shift to run where you run at normal speed. You double tap W in order to run. And when you double tap W, it does like a little burst. It pushes you forward, and then it does a fast travel run. So imagine that when you're in combat 1v1ing someone. Everybody, the whole combat system is just going to be based around the burst sprint speed. So you're M1ing, you're going to be dashing around. It's not like you're in place trying to fight the person in front of you. everybody's dashing side to side every 2 seconds, and I can't really explain it. You guys will know exactly what I mean if I can get footage to someone 1v1ing in this game. People are just dashing side to side, dash, because there's no real sprint mechanism in this game. So engaging in combat is super weird. And honestly, that's my main issue. That whole movement system within the combat, because since there's no sprinting, that is the main form of movement. So it's incorporated into combat, and it makes it so dreadful. Genuinely is kind of terrible. Now, from my understanding, this game has a block bar system. So once your block bar or block shield is done, you get block broken, and there is perfect blocking in this game. Now, again, systems like that don't feel the best to me. Those aren't the most fun combat system. However, it'll grow on me, I guess, and I haven't played the game in a while, so I don't know how the combat is right now, so I can't really speak with the most confidence. And I didn't really explore outside of the combat of just PvPing people, so I haven't seen floor 1, I haven't seen floor 2, anything of that nature. From what I'm seeing, they've done floor 1 all the way up to floor 6. So the dev team in the past couple of months have been cooking. And yeah, you guys have seen the sneaks for the game. These guys are working hard, boy. I found a perfect example of what I meant. Within the sneak you're seeing now, look, instead of the character just running forward, he does the little dash. You can see the dash. And then, yeah, it has the little trail behind him whilst he's running. That's the fast travel sprint speed that I'm talking about. You see how the NPC's running to him normally. That's what I want. I want a normal sprint system. But this sprint system in the game for you is the dash run animation. And then, yeah, I really don't like that. I really don't like that movement. Honestly, it's not cute. Okay, I did just find a combat sneak. I mean, since I found it, it's going to be playing in the video before as well. But I just want to quickly speak on it again as well. You guys see exactly what I mean about the sprint dash thing. Yeah, it makes the combat feel terrible. In my opinion, I don't feel like a Sword Art Online game should have that much crazy dashing side to side burst. It's super weird, and that's essentially going to be how the combat system is, the dashing feature, and that is kind of annoying. And then as you can see, it's perfect blocking, the hit stun thing, and then after you finish your M1 combo, the person gets knocked back and they fall on the floor. Not the biggest fan of that, because it makes the combat slow paced, but it's a fast paced combat system. Really weird. And what I mean by it makes it slow pace is after the M1 combo you fall backwards, your character has to get back up, but the combat is also fast paced because it has the dash feature. I don't know, I really don't like that. And then obviously you see the blocking, it's perfect block system, and you hold block and there's a block break system, so you're just holding block. I don't know if it's after the 5 M1s it gets a block break, or if there's a block bar and you can hold block and completely counter someone's M1, but eventually it will block break. So I don't really know how I like that combat system within a Sword Art Online game. But again, every game is different and you would have to experience it for yourself. A lot of people may like systems like that. It's just me, I don't think systems like that are fun in the long term. So I don't know, each to their own. But regardless, their game looks beautiful. If you look at the sneaks where they're showcasing the map, and that is a majority of the sneaks where they like kind of just walk and showcase the scenery, show you guys the map is looking beautiful, you'll see that the game looks nice. That is it for Blade Art Online, and that is it for the video. Guys, let me know what you think about each of the games. Please, when you write about the game, tell me the game you're talking about, or you can write individually about each of the 3 games. I do want to see you guys' opinion on all these Sword Art Online games. I'll be reading every credible comment, not the comments that's criticizing or complimenting. Give actual critique and what you liked about it. I do want to know where the community stands with each of these games. giving their honest opinion. You guys know there's like a 0 deriding tolerance on my channel, unless it's type so. And that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. Spare me, please. But yeah, I'd love to know you guys' feedback. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. If you made it to the end, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this video with your friends. Let's start blowing up these videos, man. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.